Hi, this is Chris. Yesterday I gave myself a little treat and I went to the local antique mall. I haven't been there in months and months and months. And I actually went with a purpose. I wanted to get a small vintage lamp for my front entry table. And I did find one, but of course I had to look through the whole store to find it, even though it turned out to be right up by the front door. But anyways, I found some treasures. So I'm going to show you some of the treasures that I found yesterday. First we have this Puritan bank pins manufactured by American Pin Company in Waterbury, Connecticut. Has a little bit of staining on the sides, but it has a really cute little image on the front. And it's full of pins, which I don't really need. I bought it for the box. Put that there. And I found these 3 spools of thread. Aunt Lydia's button and carpet thread. I use button and carpet thread when I bind my books. This was $8.50 for 3 of these, and I'm not even sure if the thread is okay. It might break if I pull it out, if I tug on it. But anyways, I can use those in my bookbinding, and I recently ran out and was wondering where I would find some more. Okay, and then I found this little box. It has a transferware on the top, and I've oiled it a little bit. I think this might be transferware on the wood grain. It's not the actual wood grain of the box. It's very inexpensively made. It says on the bottom in a child's handwriting, it says shells from Florida, 1935. And then inside it had a little note that says, my jewelry box when I was little. And it has no key, but it has a little lock crookedly put on there. It's kind of quaint. And that was about $12, I think. And then this little box here, this is a handmade, I'm sure it's a school project. It said inside 1940s, 1950s handmade box. It was $18.50. I usually don't spend that much, but I was splurging. I was giving myself a treat. And on the bottom, made by Carl Brewer, Athens, Tennessee. And he probably made that in high school. I thought that was really cute. I like to keep my crafting bits and pieces in little wooden boxes like these. I have a few of the cedar boxes. This box is cedar. I have a few of the cedar boxes that they sell at the national park. Some I collected as a child, some I've picked up later. And then I found this book, the Independence series, Watson's Complete Speller, Oral and Written, A.S. Barnes and Company, with a nice etching of a student practicing handwriting. And the thing I like about this book is it has some nice typography in it, including Spencerian hand, which is what children learn to write. And look at these letter forms here. Read and write. Read and write. So, and it has some interesting articles pasted in it too. It's just a cardboard cover. It has a nice back. As a graphic artist, I've always been interested in fonts used in art, which is what graphic arts means. It means using letters in your artwork, letter forms. The second book I got is called Dry and I, And it says 1812 here, but that's not when the book was published or written. That's when the story takes place. It's about the 1812 war, but it's an adventure story. It was published in 1902, and both these books will be part of my collection, and so I put little notes in them about where I bought them and how much I paid for them, and then when I read them, because I do plan to read most of my vintage and antique books. I've read several already, but I've been collecting them for 30 years. This is interesting how they miscut some of these pages on here. It has a few illustrations in it. I could not for the life of me tell which of the two charming girls I loved the better. Dry and I. I'm not sure what that means. It's D''RI, all caps. So I'm not sure what kind of a name that is, but I'll have to read the book to find out. We were both near breaking down. Sounds very dramatic. To my wife, this is a tale of adventure and rugged pioneers who, unconquered by other foes, were ever at war with the ancient wilderness, pushing the northern frontier of the white man further and further west. It has this beautiful illustration on the cover and the sort of Art Nouveau vining around the edges and the gold. So that's part of my permanent collection. And then I got this dresser scarf and doily embroidered set, and this particular antique store doesn't give the purchaser itemized receipt. This one was, I think, $15, and this one was a little bit less. So that's what I got at the antique mall yesterday, and it was fun to get out and look for treasures again. I've been without a car for 5 weeks and finally found one that suited my needs and my budget, and so that was one of the first trips I took out in my car, was to the antique mall. And so now I will show you a picture of the lamp that I found. I looked all over the shop for a small vintage lamp, and my table in my entryway is very small. It's a table that was made by my father when he was in high school. And I wanted a small lamp, and so I found this lamp. It's a mid-century blonde wood base, and it has a raffia wrapped shade. And it's very tall and narrow and fits perfectly in this space. I have it on a little timer, and it comes on in the evening and goes off at night. And it just warms up the entryway rather than having the bright overhead entry light on all the time. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you can get out and look for some treasures too. Come back again soon. Bye-bye.